Thank you very much that so many of you are still here Friday afternoon. We are going to begin with our presentation, Brezel, the World with Us. Fear, terror, refugee crisis, crazy presidents, and all the fears. The media reporting 24 hours a day about all of these things. This is quite frightening. And if you then want to travel the world, who wants to do that? Always be afraid. What you want to do is go into hiding and never come back. Or do you? We're actually 8 young women from Eberswalde and Berlin. Today we're only 3, but we study sustainable development and management in tourism. Our team is Christina, our tech brain, Jesse, our communication, our creative brain, and my name is Steffi, the communications brain. We decided to live up to the challenge and do a Facebook social media challenge within the framework of which students and young teams developed online campaigns against discrimination, extremism, and what does that have to do with tourism? Well, we can tell you that now. Who would have thought in tourism we all have to use the internet as well. During the service chain, every step is becoming more and more digital, and as tourism experts we always think of the booking process that takes place online and the conversion, and at the end of the day also the profit. But our guests on vacation no longer live in an analog way. They have their smartphones with them. They take pictures of food, pools, beaches, and all of this is shared and, if possible, liked as well. And what can be used better for this than social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, where you can nicely post your holiday pictures. Companies should never forget to also be present on the platforms that their guests are on, like Facebook and Instagram. If you're not active there, you're not even present at all for many. But it's not only about being present, it's about likes and shares, because particularly experiences and products that are important to me and that people in my peer group, i.e. people who like the same things I do, who have the same hobbies and the same likes and dislikes, if they like and share these activities, I believe that they're authentic and I want to experience them as well. So these social media channels are perfectly geared towards placing products in a target group focused way. So experiences and activities that my peer group experiences are the ones I want to experience because I identify with them, and as a consequence they are very important for me. So with our idea, we were at the interface between tourism on the one hand and civil justice and commitment on the other hand. Very challenging indeed. We wanted to bring people around the world together and bring them together to show a sign against discrimination and extremism. So exactly what you need to have if you want to get people curious for other countries, other people, and other cultures. So the basic pillars of tourism. But how can all of this be achieved? Well, first we needed a symbol, and the symbol needed to be unique, something special, but not overly crazy. It had to be slightly wacky, but not straight out mad, and it needed to be something we could identify with. So we thought the easiest thing ever and came up with the symbol of the pretzel. The pretzel is a German baked good which is known everywhere around the world. Internationally, there are a lot of different versions of pretzels. You can have sweet, savory pretzels. And on the other hand, if you look at the picture, it's a symbol of infinity. You see the infinity symbol in the little arms of the pretzel, and that also represents sharing and connecting. But Over the course of our research, we also saw Indian mudras. That's finger yoga from India, which helps to direct fears and stress away from the person who does that type of yoga. But we didn't want people to sit on their couch, eat pretzels, and do finger yoga. That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring people together. So we called people around the world to form and shape these pretzel mudras together with a partner. And as you can see on the global map here, we had 16 weeks. We had more than 660 mudra pictures from 101 countries of the world. So that's 52% of the world. And in green, you see the pictures of, or the countries that people sent pretzel mudras to us. So Pretzel the World was our call for action, and we spread it on all of the social media websites. And as we do not only reach the people who made the pretzel mudra, but also the photographer and friends and relatives standing next to them, we were able to achieve a reach of 134,111 people. And we were so successful that we were invited to present it at the Destination Meets Origin Congress in Malaga in 2017. One or the other celebrity and policymaker also made the pretzel sign. Our minister Hendricks and Cem Özdemir liked us on Twitter. And in July of 2017, the moment arose. We were in the European finals of the Adventure Digital Challenge and went to Vienna to the OSCE conference. And as you can see from our cheering, Pretzel the World ended up being second ranked. Okay, but what did we want to do with this? What did we want to achieve? Well, first we wanted to set a sign against extremism by bringing people from different backgrounds together, by shaping this pretzel mudra together. We wanted to give people a simple but also funny opportunity of coming together and creating some laughs. Laughs because if you want to try it, try to make the pretzel sign with the person sitting next to you. You'll see that it's not that simple. You have to concentrate a little bit, and there's always a little laugh in trying this. But what was really important to us, we wanted to get away from the horror news and shocking news that you always see on your news feeds and counter that with something that's more positive. And tourism was dear to our hearts as well, because we really received a lot of pictures from people who sent us the pretzel mudra, and in the background there was a beautiful landscape, a pool, a beach, a lot of different things in a lot of different countries, which wasn't really our call. This was not the task that we had given everybody. And then we understood that it seems to be that travelers are very open for these types of projects and issues. And we were happy about this because very often travelers are very connected both on and offline. And when they post pictures like that, they reach a lot of people. And maybe this online idea ended up being an offline event as well. Maybe setting a sign against extremism, get away from the sofa and the TV and go out into the world. We from Pretzel the World hope that people like we who are slightly shaken by all the terrible news and we don't know whether we should rather retreat and stay at home. But I hope that with this campaign we were able to open a window into a global community where there's space for everybody, because irrespective of where you are and how you feel, your peer group is here and is pretzeling with you. So let's pretzel the world.
Ja, gibt es noch irgendwelche Fragen?
Now, are there any questions? We still have a little bit time left, so feel free to ask questions and feel free to also shape the mudra. Should we do that? Now, how will you continue? What will the next steps look like? Will the project continue or has it finished? Now, the university project ended, but we are really doing this because it's a very dear project for us. We're continuing. We're still collecting mudras, so keep taking pictures, keep uploading them. In our situation, we also donated for every picture we received. We didn't mention it in the presentation, but this was important to us as well. We're doing this, and wherever we are, we create the mudras, upload them, and ask people to, just become connected with the person sitting or standing next to them.
Gibt es noch weitere Fragen?
Other questions?
Wie schwierig war es am Anfang, die ersten?
How difficult was it in the beginning to get the first couple of thousands of shares, particularly in other countries and in other languages? How did you succeed? That's a very, very good question, because in the beginning it was really difficult. We also hadn't been social media experts before, but we found out that for the German audience, there was a balance between Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram immediately took up the challenge. Twitter was lagging behind. Even when we were up and running, it hadn't achieved the same level. At the international level, this looked slightly different, but you can already see how you have to target project if you want to reach out to different target groups. So we ended up saying if we had only operated in German, Facebook and Instagram would have been enough, but we got most of the uploads via our own website, so not one of the typical social media channels. That was interesting to see, but we definitely achieved a high reach through the social media channels. So that's the differentiated answer I can give you. We also started different campaigns and saw which campaign worked and which campaign didn't. This is also related to issues like hashtags or where do I position the ad on Facebook. So it was very nice to see the things that did work and the ones that didn't. And there's always a critical mass that you need to reach, and after that things become a lot easier. Let me add, we basically acted based on learning by doing. We were a great team. We had 9 languages in our team, which was a big advantage because we were able to produce videos not only in German and English, but Arabic, Farsi, Chinese languages that we were able to reach out to people who have problems with fake news and all these tragic horror news. So we always went out on the streets, did a lot of canvassing, had stickers, approached a lot of people, and at some point we just noticed there's something, that's coming back. There was a lot of interaction. Can I also add something? We also noticed that the direct face-to-face offline contact is helpful to trigger an online reaction. And the other way around, you have an online campaign which then translates into something offline. So this interchange between these two modalities was quite interesting. And then also the topics, openness, tolerance, anti-extremism, etc., and getting people to become more curious and look at a different country. That's what we wanted. So from that, I deduce that you are not only active in one location. Is that correct? That is correct. We started in Eberswalde because we all went to university there. But as we're tourism students and are traveling a lot ourselves, we took the campaign into the world. We all had a practical semester this past semester, and everybody went to another country and took Pretzel the World with us wherever we went. Was it your idea only to start a campaign, or did you have a professor who told you to start a campaign and then you came up with the pretzel idea? It was an obligatory part of one of the classes we had to take. We could have chosen another module, though, but everybody really wanted to do an online marketing project. And on the first day, we all sat around a table, and everybody had like part of an idea, but nobody felt forced to participate. Everybody was there on a voluntary basis, and it took a while for all of us to come to the same conclusion. We discussed things, then we laughed, we had some fun, then we hit rock bottom, and I think after the first day we had already agreed on what to do, and then we just started. We knew that we wanted to participate in this online challenge, the Adventure Partners and Facebook challenge. We wanted to participate in that. But the decision-making process was long. We started to discuss who do we want to reach out to, who's our target group, do we want to reach out to people who are no longer interested in politics, do we want to reach out to people who are threatened of becoming extremists, do we want to reach out to travelers who aren't interested in politics at all. And then we decided to focus on the silent majority, the people who are tolerant and willing to travel and enter into contact with others, but who the political realm doesn't know anything about. So you often believe that extremist views become predominant because these groups generate a lot of noise, but we wanted to counter that by saying there are a lot of people who are open-minded, who want to see things and who are tolerant, but they're just silent. Those were the people who we wanted to reach out to.